Friday night arrives in the modern metropolis. The sun sets, the neon lights flicker on, and a specific frequency begins to vibrate through the city streets. It is the frequency of desperation. For 99% of the population, the end of the work week is a trigger. It is a signal to escape reality. It is the command to turn off the higher functions of the brain, to pour poison down their throats, and to drown out the misery of their unfulfilled existence with deafening noise and flashing strobe lights. The modern party is the cathedral of the lost. It is a marketplace where validation is the currency and insecurity is the dress code. Men and women gather in dark rooms to pretend they are important, to pretend they are happy, and to pretend they are winning. But if you stand back and observe the crowd, if you scan the faces of those shouting over the music, desperate for connection, you will notice a distinct void. Someone is missing. The Sigma male is not there. Society tries to shame him for this. They label him antisocial. They call him boring. They say he is missing out on his youth. But the Sigma is not sitting at home feeling sorry for himself. He is not missing out on the party. He is transcending it. While the herd sees a nightclub as a place of pleasure, the Sigma sees it as a minefield of liabilities. He operates on a different level of consciousness. He understands a concept that the masses ignore: the unseen cost. Tonight we are going to deconstruct why the most dangerous men on earth are rarely found on the dance floor. We will explore the hidden taxes that the party lifestyle levies on your potential and why the Sigma refuses to pay them. Number 1, the time arbitrage, the math of mediocrity. The first reason is mathematical. The average man calculates the cost of a night out in dollars. He looks at his bank account and thinks, I can afford the entry fee and the drinks. This is a poverty mindset. This is how the worker thinks. The Sigma calculates the cost in momentum. Let us look at the real math. A good night out does not just consume the 5 hours you spend at the venue. That is merely the visible cost. The unseen cost is exponentially higher. It consumes the 2 hours of preparation and travel. It consumes the 8 hours of disrupted, low-quality sleep that follows, because alcohol destroys your REM cycle. But the real tax, the tax that keeps men poor, is the recovery. The day after the party is a write-off. You are operating at 40% cognitive capacity. You are sluggish. Your testosterone is suppressed. Your motivation is chemically depleted. You spend the day eating garbage food and passively consuming content to numb the headache. So one night of fun actually costs you 2 days of life. If you do this every weekend, that is 104 days a year. That is over 3 months of your life, every single year, flushed down the toilet of hedonism. The Sigma understands time arbitrage. He knows that while his competition is recovering on Sunday morning, nursing a hangover and regretting their texts, he is working. He is training. He is reading. By the time the partygoer wakes up at noon, the Sigma has already lapped him 3 times. Over a decade, this creates the gap between the master and the slave. Number 2, the neurochemistry of cheap dopamine. To understand the Sigma mindset, you must understand the biology of motivation. The human brain is wired to seek dopamine. It is the molecule of drive. However, not all dopamine is created equal. Parties are factories of cheap dopamine: the strobe lights, the loud bass, the alcohol, the sudden social validation. It floods the brain with unearned reward chemicals. It tricks your ancient biology into thinking you have achieved something great, like winning a war, when in reality, you have achieved nothing. The crash is inevitable. What goes up must come down. The depression people feel on Sunday is not just sadness. It is a chemical debt. You borrowed happiness from tomorrow to pay for tonight, and now the debt collector is at the door. The Sigma guards his neurochemistry like a fortress. He prefers earned dopamine, the feeling of finishing a heavy workout, closing a business deal, or mastering a complex skill. This type of dopamine builds a foundation. It rewires the brain to love the struggle. The Sigma shuns the party because he refuses to destabilize his own mind for a few hours of synthetic joy. Number 3, the theater of insecurity. Walk into any high-end club and just watch. Do not participate, observe. What do you see? You see a theater of deep, unspoken insecurity. You see alphas trying too hard to dominate the space, buying bottles with money they don't have to impress people they don't know. You see women scanning the room, looking for the highest status male to validate their beauty. You see men posturing, acting tough, terrified of being ignored. It is a fake hierarchy. It is a peacocking contest where everyone is screaming, "Look at me, I matter!" The Sigma finds this display repulsive. He does not need to scream to be heard. He does not need a VIP table to know he is a king. His confidence is internal, rooted in his competence, not in the perception of strangers. Participating in this circus requires wearing a mask. You have to fake interest in boring conversations. You have to laugh at unfunny jokes to maintain social cohesion. For a Sigma who values authenticity above all else, this performance is exhausting. He would rather be alone and real than surrounded by people and fake. Number 4. The myth of networking. One of the greatest lies sold to young men to keep them trapped in the matrix is the idea of nightlife networking. You have to go out, they say. You never know who you might meet. Let's be brutally honest. High-value men, the type of men who can actually change your life, fund your business, or mentor you toward greatness, are not standing around a sticky bar at 2 a.m. screaming over deafening techno music. High-value men are asleep, or they are working, or they are with their families. The connections you make at a party are superficial. They are bonded by intoxication, not shared vision. They are drinking buddies, not war allies. When the music stops and the alcohol wears off, those connections dissolve like smoke. If you call them on a Tuesday morning to discuss a business plan, they won't answer. Real networking happens in bright rooms. It happens in gyms at 5 a.m. It happens in business conferences and libraries. The Sigma knows that to attract high-value networks, he must first become a high-value individual. And you do not become high-value by doing shots with losers. You become high-value by grinding in silence while they destroy themselves. Number 5. Preservation of energy. There is a metaphysical concept that Sigmas intuitively understand: energy transfer. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, but you are also the product of the environment you inhabit. A party is often a cauldron of chaotic, low-vibration energy. Jealousy, lust, aggression, and desperation are masked by the loud music. But they are there. When you enter that field, you expose yourself to it. Have you ever come home from a crowded event feeling completely drained, not just physically but spiritually? That is because you have been fed upon. Energy vampires thrive in these environments. The Sigma is protective of his energy field. He knows that one bad interaction, one false accusation, or one violent encounter with a drunk idiot can derail his life. He views his peace of mind as a strategic asset. He refuses to let the chaos of the random public infect his sanctuary. There is a Japanese proverb that perfectly encapsulates the Sigma philosophy: the tiger and the deer do not stroll together. If you find yourself standing alone in your room on a Saturday night, working on your dreams, reading philosophy, or simply enjoying the silence while the world outside screams in chaos, do not feel sad. Do not feel left out. You have stepped out of the matrix. You have chosen the path of the architect rather than the consumer. You have realized that the party is a distraction designed to keep the average man average, to keep him poor, and to keep him dependent on cheap thrills. The Sigma shuns the party not because he hates fun, but because he has redefined what fun is. Fun is not escaping reality. Fun is creating a reality so good that you don't need to escape it. Stay focused, stay sober, stay dangerous, and let your success be the only noise you make.